Most of us would never do anything on purpose to hurt our dog. We feed them, we walk them, we make sure they're safe. We tell ourselves they know they're loved. But here's something I learned the hard way after many years of living with dogs. Love alone doesn't always protect their feelings, because dogs don't experience love the way we do. They don't understand good intentions. They understand moments, tone, energy, attention. And sometimes the smallest everyday things we do without a second thought, can quietly hurt them. Not in a dramatic way, not in a way that makes them yelp or run away, but in a quiet, emotional way that slowly changes how safe they feel around us. I didn't realize this when I was younger. Back then, I thought dogs were simple. I thought as long as they were fed and walked, everything else didn't matter much. But years go by, dogs come and go, life changes. And if you pay attention long enough, dogs teach you something humbling. They are incredibly forgiving, but they are also incredibly sensitive. They notice when we ignore them. They notice when our voice changes. They notice when our routine shifts, or when our patience runs thin. They may not understand why something happened, but they always feel that it happened. And because dogs want harmony more than anything, they rarely protest. They don't complain, they don't argue, they adapt, they withdraw a little, they lower their expectations. And unless you're really watching, you might miss it. I've seen it in my own dogs. A look that lingers a little longer. A tail that doesn't wag quite as high. A dog that still loves you, but feels a little less secure than before. That realization stays with you. Because hurting a dog's feelings is almost never about cruelty. It's about misunderstanding. We live fast. Dogs live in moments. We explain ourselves with words. Dogs listen with their hearts. Tonight, I want to talk about 10 everyday things that can hurt a dog's feelings, often without us ever realizing it. Not to make anyone feel bad, not to point fingers, but to help us see our dogs the way they experience us. If you've shared your life with dogs for many years, especially as the seasons of life have changed, I have a feeling some of these moments will feel very familiar. And once you notice them, you may start seeing your dog and your relationship with them in a much gentler, deeper way. 1. Ignoring them when they're quietly asking for you. One of the easiest ways to hurt a dog's feelings is also one of the most common. Ignoring them, not on purpose, not in a cruel way, just being distracted. Your dog walks up slowly, sits near you, looks at you for a moment. They're not asking for food. They're not asking to go out. They're asking for you. A glance, a word, a brief connection. When that moment passes unnoticed, when our eyes stay on a screen or our mind stays somewhere else, dogs feel it deeply. They don't understand "I'm busy." They understand presence. Repeatedly being overlooked can make a dog feel unsure about where they belong. 2. Using a harsh tone. Even when you're not upset with them, dogs listen with their whole bodies. Tone matters more than words. A raised voice, a sharp edge in your tone, even when it's not directed at them, can feel threatening. Dogs don't separate emotions the way we do. They don't know you're stressed about something else. They just feel tension enter the room. Many dogs respond by shrinking back, lowering their head, or becoming very still. They're not being stubborn. They're trying to stay safe. Over time, harsh tones can make dogs hesitant, less expressive, less confident. 3. Leaving without acknowledging them. This one seems small, but it matters more than most people realize. Dogs notice departures. When we leave without a word, without eye contact, without a gentle touch, some dogs experience it as sudden loss, especially dogs who are emotionally sensitive. A simple goodbye helps them understand that leaving doesn't mean disappearing. Silence can feel heavy to a dog. 4. Inconsistent rules. That change without warning. Dogs find comfort in predictability. When rules change without explanation, dogs don't understand flexibility. They feel confusion. Being allowed on the couch one day and scolded the next creates uncertainty. They're not being defiant. They're trying to guess what version of the world they're waking up to today. Inconsistency doesn't teach dogs boundaries. It teaches anxiety. 5. Laughing. When they're genuinely afraid, this one is hard to admit. Sometimes dogs act in ways that look funny to us. shaking during thunderstorms, freezing at the sound of the vacuum, hiding from unfamiliar objects. But fear isn't funny to a dog. When we laugh, dismiss, or brush it off, dogs learn something painful, that their emotions aren't taken seriously. What they need in those moments is calm presence, not reassurance filled with panic, just steadiness. 6. Forcing affection. When they're not ready. Not all dogs want constant physical contact, especially hugs, especially sudden grabbing, especially touching around the face or head. Dogs often tolerate touch because they want harmony, but tolerance isn't enjoyment. Signs of discomfort are subtle: a stiff body, turning the head away, licking lips, yawning when not tired. Ignoring these signals can make dogs feel unheard. They don't stop loving us, they just stop relaxing. 7. Punishing them. Long after the moment has passed, dogs live in the present. When punishment comes late, they don't connect it to a past action. They connect it to you. That confusion can slowly erode trust. Instead of learning what went wrong, they learn uncertainty. They begin to wonder when correction might appear. And living in that kind of uncertainty is emotionally exhausting for dogs and humans alike. 8. Comparing them to other dogs. Dogs may not understand the words, but they understand attention. When praise consistently goes elsewhere, some dogs feel overlooked. They may not feel jealousy like humans do, but they feel displacement. Each dog wants to feel valued for who they are, not for how they compare. 9. Rushing them through moments that matter. Dogs experience the world through scent and exploration, sniffing, pausing, lingering. When we rush them constantly, pull them away mid-greeting, or interrupt their exploration, it can feel dismissive. Imagine being pulled away in the middle of a meaningful conversation. Dogs notice that too. 10. Forgetting that dogs have emotional depth. Perhaps the most damaging thing of all is forgetting that dogs feel deeply. They feel joy, they feel disappointment, they feel confusion, they feel sadness. They just don't dramatize it. Because dogs forgive so easily, we often underestimate how much they take in. A quiet pattern that emerges when dogs feel emotionally hurt, even in small ways. They don't rebel, they adjust, they become quieter, less expressive, less demanding, and unless we're paying attention, we might mistake that for good behavior. But sometimes it's a sign of a dog learning to expect less. When you put all of these small moments together, a quiet picture begins to form. Most dogs aren't hurt by big dramatic events. They're hurt by tiny things that happen again and again. Moments when they reach out and aren't noticed. Moments when they're confused and not understood. Moments when their feelings are brushed aside because life feels busy or loud. Dogs don't hold grudges. They don't keep score. They adapt. And that's what makes this so easy to miss. A dog who feels emotionally hurt doesn't stop loving you. They simply stop asking for as much. They learn when to stay back, when to be quiet, when not to interrupt. And unless you're watching closely, that withdrawal can look like good behavior, but it's not always a sign of comfort. Sometimes it's a sign of a dog learning to protect their own feelings. The beautiful thing is, dogs are incredibly forgiving. Even small changes from us can make a big difference to them. A moment of eye contact, a softer tone, a pause before pulling the leash, a gentle word before leaving the house. These things don't take much time, but they mean everything to a dog. Especially later in life, many of us come to understand that the strongest relationships aren't built on big gestures. They're built on awareness, on patience, on learning to listen without needing words. Our dogs have been listening to us their entire lives. They listen to our footsteps, our breathing, our moods, our silences. Learning not to hurt their feelings, even in small, unintentional ways, is one of the simplest ways to honor that loyalty. If any of these moments felt familiar to you, or reminded you of a dog who has shared your life in the past, you're not alone. And if you enjoy these quiet reflections about dogs, emotions, and the small lessons that come with time, you're always welcome here. If you'd like to show your support, you can like this video or subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future stories like this. There's no pressure at all, just a gentle invitation. Thank you for listening, and thank you for caring enough to keep learning how to love your dog a little more gently every day.